Welcome to Money Convos, where we discuss personal finance and investment tips. We're committed to helping people create wealth and achieve financial freedom. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse, and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube and podcast. All right then, let's head into today's conversation.
Hello, Bishop Adam, how are you doing?
Elikem, I'm doing good. Yourself?
I'm great, my brother, I'm great. I hear say you dey build ark for the Teshi area there. This gigantic ark.
It's like Accra. If you don't have a canoe or something, you're in trouble.
Charlie, they make a kind of circle their line. Corolla S by this time.
By this time.
And now, if your benzo by this time, Charlie. Yeah, did you get us a canoe? All you need is canoe. Row your boat.
I tell you.
It's just amazing how areas so like N1, one of the more recently constructed routes.
Yeah.
Airports.
It's serious. Because I was at East Legon when the rain started, and just next to the site I was working on, there's this drain there, and this thing I saw it earlier or somewhere a year ago, 2 years ago, where they sort of turned the thing into a storm drain. They've done some concrete, covered it up, and they are coming to build over there. And today, right in front of the Liberty American School, just the whole place was flooded, leading to Ari and somewhere. It was flooded. It was terrible. I don't know what it is, how we'll be able to get this our planning. And I think it's just the lawlessness. It's just too much. Its bottom line is lawlessness. Yeah.
The whole system, everybody does anything that they want.
Exactly.
Whatever corner they are sitting in, they are just doing whatever. Whether it's a person at town and country planning who is misbehaving, or somebody who is just selling bullfruit and they are misbehaving right now with almost 50% West. Or the truck driver, everybody is just doing anyhow. So when you put it all together,
it comes. It all sums up because this place is just next door. And I noticed and it's a school project we are doing right now. So I was just imagining that, hey, if the rain had fallen a little earlier, it would have entered into the yard in which I was. And then that's going to be a school. God knows how it will be like in future should the rain fall very heavily and touch wood. It is during school hours. And you never know. Oh, it's sad.
You would have thought after June 3rd, 2015, you would have learned.
Oh, sure. There have been more instances after June 3rd. Look at the Kaswa Road, for instance. And the number of times people have had to endure the issues they've endured there. And you ask yourself, what exactly is the problem that it cannot be solved once again? And we're not talking about heavy rain. Look, I showed you the Texas tornadoes and things. Where do they get 10% of these things safe? Where will they wire like this?
Charlie, honestly, when you think about Southeast Asia, you think about the East, you think about the US, the climate and the kind of natural disasters they get, you realize that in Ghana, at least what we get is comparative to our capability. Something just above what we can handle, slightly above what we can handle, because if we start getting tornadoes and hurricanes,
it go over we for you. I feel say God now when you see inside give you say, these people, you even if we've done something and then we deserve some punishment, they say therefore you hold stay off these people because Charlie. I don't know what one cyclone will do to us over here.
Amazing stuff. Anyway, let's not keep our audience waiting. I see Nana Praku in the audience. I think it's been a minute since I saw him. Nana Praku is our senior man, most loyal. So we hope you are doing well. You can just drop us an emoji for us to know that you're around. Yeah. Okay. So and Dennis, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Oh, we are okay. We are managing. Yes, the sun is bright over here. The sun is shining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Good for you.
Yeah, winter is officially over. I can wear shorts and be walking around. Yeah, so it's all good. When the sun is out, then we black people, we are happy. It brings our strength back. Yes.
Then the thing facts come there, it's not going to be easy, come.
Oh, Charlie. It's small. We are trying to get there. Anyway. So, yes, today's conversation, and I'm glad Prince has joined right at this moment because, the thing I was trying to stop because if the special guest of honor hasn't come, how do you even start the show? You understand? So, Prince, please join us up here. Because this matter, I'll leave the mic to Prince and he'll carry the whole show. Because for how many years I've known Prince, every time he's reading a book, and we are talking about the value of continuous learning. Because we've not stopped learning. When we are finishing university and people say, if I start from primary school, JSS, in the younger years, the teacher will say, oh, you just finished learning this thing and you never have to learn again. They used to trick us all the time that once we finish school, we won't have to learn again. Then we finish university and some people threw their books away. In fact, there's some data that a lot of most adults, maybe this may be American, but most adults have never read a non-fiction book since they graduated from college. I may be wrong. If someone can fact check, that would be lovely. But yeah, a lot of people don't read as much, even more so for professionals. So today we're going to be talking about continuous learning. Last week we started a conversation about education. Yesterday was about formal education, going to university or an undergrad program, then a master's program or advanced degrees. Today we are talking about continuous learning in the format of professional certifications. Anything that's outside of the usual formal degrees. Things that would you continue to learn to sharpen your tool as a professional, as somebody in the labor market, whether you're self-employed, whatever you do. We all offer our services in one way or another to either our employers or to our clients, to whoever, in exchange for money. So how do we stay sharp? All right, that's what we are going to be talking about. And then next week, we'll be talking about reading wide. In this day and age, it won't be just reading. It will be about gathering information as widely as we can. Okay, so getting into it, as we started last time, if we could just talk about the various continuous learning or professional degrees we have pursued since our undergrad. We don't have to repeat what we did for undergrad and master's programs and all that, just the kinds of diplomas or certifications that we've pursued. We can start with Dennis. Dennis, there, I'll be surprised if there's plenty you can say. It can be ongoing. Shouldn't have finished it.
Yeah. So I'm still pursuing mine. I'm doing my ACCA. I'm at my final level, and I'm also recently started my Ghana Stock Exchange course, which I'm also pursuing. Yeah.
Okay. So for those who don't know what ACCA is, can you tell us what ACCA is?
Yes. So ACCA stands for Association of Certified Chartered Accountants UK. It's a global professional body of accountants, and it has 14 papers in total. So once you are able to write all 14 papers, along with passing other modules and then subject to you meeting other criteria, you are officially recognized as a chartered accountant and you can practice anywhere on the globe.
No, that's impressive. Okay, can practice anywhere in the globe. Okay, cool. And to clarify for us, when did you finish university?
So I finished last year in August 2023.
Okay, cool. And you are still learning. Okay, that's good. Yes. That's good. So, if anyone thinks that learning is over, we are still learning. All right. Let's see. Adam, how about you? What have you done outside of formal education?
Oh, really? Okay, so my first professional related course, interestingly, was not even in my field of study. It was the Ghana Stock Exchange course. That was somewhere in 2014. When I did all the courses and then I passed on the first attempt. So I did that, and subsequently I also took on some other finance courses on Coursera. I mean, that's basically just, but there were not anything that had certifications. Then I also went on to now pursue my professional, because for my professional exams, before you could write it, you needed to do 2 years training, 2 years training and tutelage under a professional quantity surveyor. So I did that and also wrote the professional exams in 2017. Yes, that's like 2017 when I passed also on the first attempt. It's a very difficult exam. And I think our year, the pass rate was about 40 something, but thankfully I was also part of it. And after that, after that has just been regular professional, like for example, I did some training, especially the software trainings that I use for my job. Yeah, so that has been what I've been spending my time doing. Yeah.
That's interesting. So you started off your continuous learning in a field that wasn't even directly related to your profession. That's good. So it goes to anyone who says, "Oh, it's not what I was taught in school. I can't do this because that's not what I did all the way from nursery school up to now." This would be some information for them to be inspired. Wonderful. Okay, our boss. In fact, no. Before Prince goes safe, let me say my word, because I am. You know that when in Akan there's this saying, when the adults or the elderly finish bathing, then the water is finished. So that's Prince won't finish all the water. Let me use some. So for me, I after undergrad, during the first year of work as national service, I took on the Ghana Stock Exchange courses back then, and then I took on the CFA, so level 1, level 2, and then somewhere in between there too, I did a course on, I think it was risk management, credit risk management at the Ghana Institute of Bankers. So and the CFA, of course, so those were really the main ones. So every year I was studying for something. Don't know if GMAT counts, but that was an exam that helps with application for school. That on its own trains you to think in a way that we never had to think back in Ghana. So that also helped. I think for me that pretty much covers it. The rest will be a lot of learning on my own, but that will come next week. So Prince, please, can you take us through? You have the next 20 minutes just to finish.
About 20 minutes the other day. All right.
But
So
how are you doing though?
I'm fine. I just go home. I'm fine.
We thank God. Did you have to use a canoe or just, or you used your helicopter? They came to pick you, airlift you.
It was I came by a car. So.
Okay.
I'm cool. Yeah. So I think from undergrad, I did marketing and I switched into insurance. So I started off with the certificate of insurance. I then moved on to do the diploma in insurance, and I went on to do the advanced diploma. So that is how the insurance professional certification is. So you start off, if you are somebody new to the industry, you start off with the certificate. It just introduces you to insurance and some basic things you need to know about insurance. Then you go a little bit deeper into the course by taking the diploma. And when you want to become a chartered insurer, then you consider the advanced diploma. So as I speak now, I'm done with all those certifications. And I also did a certification with the London School of Insurance on reinsurance. So a certification on reinsurance. So I also finished that with the London School of Insurance. And then I am currently pursuing ARM and CPCU. So the ARM is for risk professionals. If you want to dive into the world of risk management and get to know more about it, you take the ARM. So it's the full meaning is Associate in Risk Management, and it's being it's coming from a school in the US called the Institute. Yeah, so they award that certification for insurance professionals, and then currently also pursuing the CPCU. So the CPCU is casualty property and a chartered property and casualty underwriter. Yeah, so that one too is also the Institute's course. That's so it's a 14 exams, and you have to pass or to be awarded that designation. Yeah, so that is what I'm currently working on.
Wow. Some of that was really powerful. So I need to properly digest it, see whether I can match up or not. If I will be able to do all of this in one lifetime. I don't know how Prince did it. Anyway, thank you all for sharing that. So the general theme is we are all pursuing stuff. We've all pursued continuous education. We didn't end at just our undergraduate or our master's degrees. We've continued pursuing it. So I'm curious to ask all, why do we bother to do this? Or what has the benefit been to us? How has it set us apart? And I know the default would be that is required by a profession. Some professions require that you have a license to get it done. That's okay. And sometimes it's not always a guarantee that you'll get a job, but at least it makes sure that your resume will be considered in the shortlist. And even if it won't be considered, it's not a quick dismissal, right? So there's that part of getting your foot into the door. However, let's move beyond that. Let's move beyond it is required for your promotion. Let's talk about how you as an individual, you as a professional, have stood to benefit, whether commercially or compared to your peers or in any way. So, Prince, why don't you get us started?
Okay, Ellie. So I think for me, I really wanted to get to understand insurance to the core, and I think you know my story coming from insurance, and I really wanted to get to understand it so that I can also share that information with other people, because I got to understand that insurance is too technical, and a lot of people who buy policies, they really don't understand. So I met a man who had a comprehensive cover, but had gotten an accident and had taken the car to a workshop to repair it himself. When this man has paid a comprehensive premium of 5,000 for the insurance, I get in it. So upon talking to him, I was like, you have a comprehensive, so how come you are repairing your own car? And he seemed not to understand. It's like he just bought it, and he really don't really know what really the product gives him when there's a risk that happens. So for me, these are some of the things that really pushed me to kind of become a master of the study of insurance, get to understand it, so that at least it wouldn't be like I'm just selling to somebody, but I'm selling and I'm letting you understand what you really buy, so that when it comes to a point where you need to benefit from it, you wouldn't just set it aside because you didn't know. So for me, that is one aspect that pushed me to do the certification. And I think another aspect was also, I think initially I was going to do masters in insurance, okay, and there was an incident that happened in our office. So there was a vacant position that normally they will give it to the internal staff to apply before they even. So there was one guy who had done masters in insurance from Legon, and there was another person who has done the diploma in insurance with CI UK. So they all applied for the work, but you definitely get to understand that, say, if we are looking for, if the two of them have applied, then it means that the masters will definitely get. So that was the first point of call, that everybody in the office. So the DD came and then it's like the one with the diploma has gotten the offer to come and even head over the person who did the master's. So I really I didn't understand the whole dynamic. So it was later that I confronted my then boss, and he was of the view that for the industry, because it's a profession, they mostly go for the professional certificate ahead of, even if you've done masters in insurance and anything that you have. So that also informed me that then if I want to stay in the industry, then I should try and do with the professionals who actually know more about it than to going to study it in the university and I'll come and it wouldn't also add up to and me, and it becomes another problem again. Yeah, so that was also one thing that also pushed me to kind of pursue the course and just position myself in a way that you know that you are young, but you've been able to do anything, and when the opportunity comes, it just happens for you and you get it done. So for me, those are the two things that actually push me to focus more on the professionals. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. It adds more value and to you in the marketplace, and people will be seeking that over other conventional metrics. Okay, great. Adam, how about you? What have been the benefits to you?
Oh, Elikem. Okay, so let me start off from my motivation and then come to the benefit. The motivation was I like learning. So it made after finishing my undergrad, it looked like what's more to do? I needed to be doing stuff. So, but with the benefits. So let's starting off from doing the GSE course.
Adam, sorry to interrupt, but this just reminds me of something. There's a certain old stereotype about Ewes that Ewe people just like learning. When they left the villages, they told them that you don't have any natural resources, so just come and learn. Have you heard that thing before?
Oh, but it is true. You are not there. No,
all you have is reading.
No light detected. Because my hometown, we can't even do Galamsey.
Oh, no. Okay. Your only hope is just to be reading as a hobby. Just read.
I don't get anything else you go see do. Anyway, I mean, on a more serious note. So, started off, but it got to a point it was more like, every year I set some targets for I want to do this, I want to learn this, I want to improve in this. And, in fact, at a point I was thinking I wanted to do a career switch. That is why probably you see I had a lot of finance stuff in the early stages of working. But I think that after taking my professional course, rather, I had more confidence and more grounding in my profession, and it brought in that thing that that when a task is given to you, there was just something about when I passed the exam that the person who went into before induction and after induction, it's just the same dress you're wearing, but there was just something about that process of writing, passing, and being inducted, and now knowing that, yes, I am now a member of the Ghana Institution of Surveyors, and it just brings some different confidence to my work when I meet with clients, when I meet with other people, other professionals and then even when I'm espousing a professional opinion, now I know I can have a professional opinion and stick to it on the basis of principle or the principles I have studied and all of that. So it brought that kind of confidence to the work that I did. And with the GSE course and everything, it helped me, especially, I talked about the investment club and my finance as issue, learning about finance and those things in those early times. I think it helped me to it was part of the things that helped me to order my personal life and finances, and also get to the point where now it's like a lot of people would come to you for what do you think about this? What do you think about that concerning their personal finance? Yes. And so it helped me also give direction in how I actually help to coach and mentor other people, especially in the club and all that, to be able to start thinking more broadly about their personal finance. So I think that these professional courses bring a whole lot of benefits to people, especially at the workplace. And for me, it was the main thing was that sort of like, it's as if you have some backing or some blessing be. Now go out there and practice. Yeah, that's how I felt about it. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. After all, you can't even go back home to go and do that and say, so might as well read some more books. Okay, all right. Dennis, how about you? How do you see the benefits so far?
So for me, I think I saw the value of continuous learning early in school. So it was almost like when you did a professional course alongside your degree, you added a different kind of premium to yourself. And people saw you differently. Your colleagues saw you differently. You suddenly became one of the smartest people in the room. So that one aside, I found that by participating in multiple learning events, by writing a professional course alongside my degree, reinforced what I was learning. And because of that, I was able to retain much more of what I was learning in undergrad. So I saw the value early. That notion that reinforcing learning continuously. Yeah, I think there's a notion like that learning something continuously reinforces your learning. I saw the value early. And so that motivated me to continue pursuing the professional course to enhance my knowledge.
Great. And how about now that you are working? Has that knowledge come to bear in any way?
Yes, it has. So there were, as we know, there are some loopholes in our undergrad system. We are not taught everything in our undergrad, but with the professional courses, because they are structured very well, you almost cover almost everything. And since I'm working, I'm seeing the benefits of taking the professional courses. I'm able to assimilate things quickly. I'm able to talk directly with the accountant at my office about things that normally people right out of school wouldn't talk about. So I think I've seen the benefits of taking it, and it was a good decision.
That's great. So there are some things in life that you do and you have to wait 20 years to see the benefits. So I'm glad within a few months you are seeing the benefits. So for me, yeah, I can also share in many of the points that were mentioned, just to succinctly say some things that may have already been said, and then hammer on some other more personal benefits for me. I think the professional programs give more depth because you'll be taught the reason behind certain principles, ways to apply it. You do a lot of drills. So by doing those continuous learning resources, using those resources, you come to know the best tools. You do more drills. It's like you're getting more opportunities to do the same thing over and again. And that makes you work better. You're a better professional among your peers. And even when you are working in a team, you see that you are able to explain things better. There are some people that when you work with them, they are like, well, we do it like this because we do it like this. Well, that's how I was taught. But you can actually understand things better and you know really why things are happening the way they are, or they are supposed to be done in a certain way. That way, if a curveball is thrown at you, something unexpected is coming, you know that, okay, based on the principles I understand and I've come to appreciate, then this is how I should react, this is how I should treat it, and it's all because of having all these better experiences. And then I found that it makes selling easier. When I was in wealth management and we were going to talk to a new client and, they ask you about the economy or your strategy, your fund management strategy, or even if it's an ongoing client, people always have money somewhere else. So whoa, encourage somebody to bring more money to you and demonstrating an expertise. Many people did an undergrad. Many people did an undergrad in banking and finance. At the time, not many people had gotten as far as I'd gotten in the CFA. and I was learning the stuff and I was applying it. It made me stand out. It made it easier for clients to say, this guy, I like what you're saying. This is interesting, So there were those benefits that came from that. And then there's the networking part. As people like you, they are more drawn to you because you are doing well. Everyone likes to go near people who are doing well, right? So people who are higher up, like older people, more experienced people, will be willing to draw me into their phone. Oh, come sit down. Let's talk about something. I like what you said about this. Or what do you think about this? So it's given me access to higher ups. Among my peers too, it makes it easier to get people because I know certain things I can help other people do their work easier. I get more favors, because I'm equipped enough to have more capacity to give more people assistance. When I need assistance, it's easier to get it from them, right? And then people younger than me too, they look like they will look at me and go like, oh, how do I also learn how to do this? How do I learn how to do that? When they have a problem, can you help me solve it? And for that, I look at people that I've helped before, and I'm like, I'm building a network, especially among people who are younger. Like, Douglas shows up on the call every now and then. Douglas, you look at Dennis, people who are, you can see that, Charlie. When we are somewhere, and I also need to form a team, I can reach out to these people. Naturally, we have something. Let's go and do this thing or this work. So those are some of the benefits. It's a 360 benefits in terms of the networking. And then there's this part where I think, more technically speaking, or in terms of the personal aspect that benefits is there's a certain level of discipline that comes with taking these professional programs. When I was younger, and I was in school and I write on a form, my profession is student. I eat, I sleep, I drink, I do everything, I'm a student. When you are working and you start learning alongside, then you start scratching your head. And you ask yourself, hey, Charlie, was I as smart as I thought I was? Because you realize that either it's your brain capacity that is going down or something else is happening. But really what I came to realize is the older we get, the more responsibilities we have. The more either at work, the more work we are being given, the more people we are asked to review their work, we are asked to supervise. Then we have our family life going on, people depending more on us. And so you have way more forces coming against you. And yet you have to keep building internally, building your resolve, learning how to prioritize time to work, time to learn, time to give to your family. You learn prioritization. You learn all these things so that you will not fail that exam. So we build that muscle, and as a person, you become way more disciplined, you become way better off for that. And also, I dare say, especially coming out of some of our schools back in Ghana, where some people will make other people write assignments for them, or they'll be cheating an exam or something, right? But a lot of these professional programs, the standards are very strict. They understand that their value as a professional program is in the integrity and knowing that if you hire somebody who is a chartered surveyor, this is the kind of results you get. So they don't want to make the mistake of allowing somebody in who is not well qualified, because that's really what they sell. We have excellent professionals. If you are going to be cheating, you're not going to take it seriously, you're not going to meet the bar. We don't want you to go around saying that you are one of us and it will spoil our name. And then people say, in that group of chartered surveyors, they are not necessary. Go and call somebody, that draftsman, let him come and do it. He's as good as the other people. So being in an organization that has really strict standards will help you as a person build your character. And finally, let's be honest. We as human beings, sometimes we need to feel good. We all know that feeling when you are doing something and you are doing it very well. And you feel like, yes, I'm a master of my craft. The boys, when you are playing football and you are scoring goals, or you are playing game and FIFA, you line up boys and you score everyone. How do you feel? When you do something and you are very good at it, it brings a certain joy to you. People talk about passion in the workplace, and that's a story for another day. I don't think we had a conversation about passion. Maybe we should have a conversation about passion one of these days. But for me, I don't think passion comes from just a warm, fuzzy feeling. One of the aspects of passion is knowing that you are good at something. That way, when the going gets tough, you are able to keep going. So when you are very good at something, you are able to Whether any storms that come up, any challenges, you just keep pushing because you know what? You appreciate that some days are good, some days are bad. And how does continuous learning get in there? Continuous learning helps you become that expert. That expert that will help you master it. And for me, I've seen it in many ways. Like there are certain things that CFA taught me. And I just digress and talk about a story. I remember I was in it was my first year of working after college, and I was working in the finance department, and there was something that happened. This is probably not on this. So okay, a manager gave me some work to do, and I was following the book. I was going the way he had taught me how to do it. I was going by my understanding of accounting. I was going the way things were supposed to go. And then I was batting my head against the wall. I went to him and he was like, "Okay, sit down. Let's do this thing." He was able to help me resolve it. And he said, "Honestly, this one, dear, he used experience to beat me. That's the only way this problem could have been solved. Experience." All right. And he felt really good. I'm just picturing the look on his face. Now, that didn't come from continuous learning per se, but that came from experience. And it's that same kind of joy that I'm sure we all feel every now and then when we have a certain advantage that other people don't have because we've taken the extra steps to become proficient in something. And that's, for me, is one of the benefits, really. Sometimes every now and then, Charlie, I just get cocky about these things. But I try to stay humble, though. Stay humble. But it's hard. It's hard, Yeah. Anyway, so for me, those are some of the benefits. It really helps boost my morale as a human being. And to have that confidence to know that I'm mastering something and I can speak with confidence because I know I can deliver on it. All right, great. So I hope we've been able to encourage anyone who's been wondering what the value of continuous education is. Why should you bother? Why should I go and study that ACC, that CIMA, or whatever, or all those things that Prince is doing? It sounds like I don't even know what Prince will be doing on this weekend. All this stress. I hope we've been able to encourage you to see some of the benefits, right? So my question for us is, how should people go about it to get the most value out of it? Perhaps, Adam, let's start from you. How did you go about the decision to say, this is the particular part I should think about? And I want you to answer this question because, you've in your continuous learning, you've dabbled in different fields. So for anyone who is thinking, imagine one of your people at church and they come to you, say, how do I think through what is my next move? Let me jump ahead of you and say something like this. For example, for me, when somebody comes to me and they say they want to study CFA, I'm like, there are certain questions that I would ask to make sure that this is the right path for them. So just picture you're in that kind of setting. How would you go about advising someone to choose the right path?
Okay, so Elikem, one of the things, just like how you also said, there are some questions you would need to ask yourself, and then satisfy yourself with the answers and know that, okay, this is the way I should go. For me, I realized that if you don't have, like, your heart is not in it, it's going to be very difficult because professional courses are things that a lot of people struggle. I see a lot of people struggle, even with the ones that people say, oh, as for this one, people pass easily and everything. It's a big struggle. So you shouldn't go putting your effort and your time into something that you don't like. That is one of the things that, and not necessarily because, oh, okay, I hear that this field, there's a lot of money there, so you just want to go there. But you might be very, very disappointed. So you must evaluate your motives and check your feeling about it. Is this something you are ready to do? Is this something you are ready to commit yourself? And I think, as we were discussing last week, that as you are moving forward, you are going towards more of specializing and becoming an expert in what you are doing. So you are asking yourself, maybe after you have finished your undergraduate degree, and then for some of us who the courses we did at undergrad was more like professions in a way, starting off. So you just knew you had to progress in that field. It's just that at the point I was just having dual thoughts, and then I just, okay, let me just go study these things to improve because of the other things I wanted to do. So, but you should ask yourself, is this what I see myself doing maybe for the next 5 years, 10 years, before you start off on those processes. Then also you should think about the commitment you are going to make in it in terms of time and resources. It's very important. You also have to gauge have those type of preparations, because people set off, they start and they realize that no, they are not really ready to commit the kind of hours and resources they need to do. I mean, for example, CFA, you should know that you are not going to be able to attend all the weddings and the parties and things in town, because you must basically become a nerd and study to be able to pass the exam. So you should ask yourself those questions, else you will start a project and you will not finish, and it's not something you would want to do. So evaluate the kinds of commitment you need to make. And then also, yes, as you are asking those questions and you are evaluating those things, to speak to other people for tips, and then other ways or hacks that they use to be able to beat the system, or I mean, not like beat the system, to be able to pass and do well and to come out well, and how they can get the best out of it. So I feel that first driving factor, you should like it. Else you would go and you stop. And also you should evaluate whether you are ready for the commitment and psych yourself and ready yourself for it financially, and then your time, your effort, and everything, and how you are going to balance it with your life, because as you go about it, to other aspects of your life too are also there. Else you would end up doing it to the detriment of your health, which sometimes we find some people doing. You spend so much time with little sleep and everything, and then in the end, you've gotten a qualification, you have health problems. So you should also look at how you can balance and think about managing all these other aspects, and how you take care of family and all of those things. It's very, very important. Yeah, Elikem.
Thank you, Adam. Yes, I like that. You need to make sure that your heart is in it and be ready for the commitment, and that part that you said about what you are going to do with it, and your reason for doing it is important, because a lot of times I think people just go and read some subjects, go and do some course, and then they now try to figure out, okay, now what am I going to do with the course? And they end up finding that, that's not how it works. You put the cart before the horse, all right? So to put the horse before the cart is to say, where do I want to be in 10 years? Where do I want to be in 5 years? What's my end game? What kind of job do I want to have? What kind of career do I want to have? Okay, so these are the courses that will prepare me. Great. All right. And like we started the question in the first place, go talk to people who've done it, right? Talk to them. Okay, Prince, how about you wrap it up for us by telling us how to, overcome any obstacles to get the most out of these professional courses.
Okay, so I think from Adam's submission, you will know that it demands a lot of work when you decide to take on some of these professional courses. It's sometimes you have to deny yourself from certain things that you do, because the way the courses are structured, like in every, let's say, 2 months you are writing exams. In every 2 months you are writing exams, and you are reading like 300-page, 250-page book to go and sit these exams. So I think the last time we were even sharing as to how my weekends are. So I hardly go out. Seriously, I hardly go out that I'm going to wedding. When the thing is very important, I'll try to make time for it. But if it's something that I can do away with to get time to study, I'll do that, because you should also know that you are working and you are doing these professional courses. Now, if you don't discipline yourself with your time, you will be there, then the month will end and you have to go and write the exams. And if you are not prepared and you fail, you have to go and register again. And these papers that you are writing, you are paying them in foreign currency. So you are working in Ghana, you are being paid in Ghana cedi, and you are writing exams that you are paying in foreign currency. So you really I don't have the luxury of saying that I won't read and I'm going to fail and then I'll go and pay it again. It's not negotiable, you know. So for me, I think my life for a particular point in time up till now has been some way. So uh, now most friends will say, "Oh, Prince, there, let's hang out." He won't. He always rushing to go to the house and all that. It's because I am doing something. I have a focus in that I'm working towards. And for me, I think if I'm to sacrifice, because I work from 8 to 5, right? Now the hours I have to study is from 5 going and also on weekends. So if I tend to bring other programs in it means that I'm not gonna read much. And by the time I get to realize it's time for me to take exams. And even if you want to postpone your exams, you will pay some penalty for not writing it in the testing window that you registered for. So for me, I think that you should be more disciplined when undertaking some of these courses. You should also look at the monetary aspect of it. If it's something that you think that going to research is a problem, it will bring some dent into your pocket. I think that when you register, try as much as possible to read and go and write it and study very hard to pass uh, um, the course, right? Yeah, and as Adam said, there should be a higher purpose for what you are doing. You get it? So I have this analogy that I always tell people that anytime you want to do something and money becomes the main focus that you are looking at, then you should not even start doing the thing. You should not even do it at all because um, it should be a higher purpose more than the money. The money is something that will come by itself, but it should be a higher purpose because there are times that certain things will want to take you away from all that you are doing. I Some of these courses that I do, I started with a lot of people. Now most of people have given up. They don't even they won't get the time. Some with kids, always no having time to read and all that. So some of them has really given up, right? And I think when we were talking, another focus I was also looking at was because I've gotten to understand that people who have settled down, starting a family with children, it takes discipline and grace for them to undertake some of these courses because the responsibility is so much. You are thinking of work, you are thinking of family, you are thinking of extended family. You are thinking yes, it's so much. So sometimes people in that category, sometimes taking some of these courses is very difficult. Myself, I find myself writing some assignments for people that you just want to help them anyway because Charlie, money no be jollof. So you do it for them regardlessly. So it's also good that sometimes you look at the long term vision. So it's all about me trying to finish the professionals in time before you can settle down. So that it wouldn't be like you are settled down, you are doing so much, you have family responsibility, you have school responsibility, and it's like you don't give the best to your family. So for me, it's also another focus. But if you want to pursue some of these courses, you have to be very disciplined. You really have to make sure that you are doing it in a certain time frame so that you can go ahead and enjoy the benefit thereof. Thank you very much, Ellie.
Thank you, Prince. Thank you. I hope this gave a good call to arms for people. If you are young, you've not yet started a family, this should ginger you some more. If you've already started a family, this should inspire you to find a way to prioritize, know where to cut things out so that you can make the time to fulfill this. So we're about to end, but I see that Mimi wants to share a word or two before we wrap it up. Mimi, how you doing? Okay. Guess we'll have to circle back to Mimi another time. We'll take Mimi's submission first thing next time. So next week we are going to be talking about reading wide. And I use that term quite loosely because lately we don't really just read. There are many ways we absorb information. So it's about expanding our knowledge base beyond the norm, going beyond just the formal education, beyond the structured education. ways we can keep growing our brains, growing our minds. So we'll be having that discussion next week. Looking forward to joining you all. Take the time to follow us here on Twitter or X. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. And on Instagram too, follow Investment Friend, where we take a step further than just these discussions to actually make a one-on-one personalized about your individual situation. Okay. Thank you all, Adam, Prince, Dennis, for sharing your experiences, the benefits that you've received from professional continuous learning. We hope that this has encouraged many people. All right. Let me see if we can get Mimi one more time. Mimi, can you unmute and let us hear your words? Last 1 minute. Oh no, we lost Mimi. Okay, guys. See, Mimi's too powerful. She came and she was shutting down the airwaves. Okay, Adam, Prince, Dennis, I see Douglas, I salute you in the audience. I dropped some shout outs so you can go back. Shout outs to Mr. Beckley. Always nice to see you here. All right, guys. Catch you next week. Take care.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our thoughts. I hope you learned a thing or two and start practicing. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Clubhouse, and Facebook. And subscribe to our YouTube and podcast. Do tell a friend about Money Convos so we all become wealthy together. Talk to you soon. Bye.